I could not be any more excited about South Florida at the Miami Hurricanes. Number 18 versus number 5. The point spread in this game, Miami is favored by 16.5 points. The over-under is 54.5. USF is 2-0 coming into this game. Ranked win over Boise State in week 0. I know, you know what I think about preseason rankings, but still, if it were an SEC team, they'd be getting credit. They beat the Florida Gators last week as well, which were ranked number 13, yet they're only number 18. Wonder why. Against the 2-0 Miami Hurricanes, who have already knocked off the Notre Dame Fighting Irish as well. This game is at Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens. Forecast for this game: thunderstorms are possible in the mid-80s as well. But the reason why I'm so excited for this game, I'm George Wrighster, former NFL player, college football player, college football analyst on CW. This is my first game of the season. I will be in the studio pregame, halftime, post-game. So make sure that you holla at your boy on social media at George Wrighster, and your boy will give you a shout out there wherever I possibly can and be one of us. Let's do this how we always do. We got coach versus coach. We got Alex Golesh, USF, 3rd year. Mario Cristobal, Miami, 4th year. Man who played at Miami as well. Cristobal's roster is deeper, but Golesh's staff, they are scheming A+ right now, and they got this team believing, and they got them cooking, and they have them literally lined up right now to get into the college football playoff as the Group of 5 representative. All they got to do right now, they control their own destiny. And after that win over Florida this last weekend, and then kicking Boise State's teeth in week 1, we need to talk about Mr. Alex Golesh, because he is going to be in line for some big-time jobs. But the question is, can USF hold on to him? But he is where his feet are right now, because USF has had their share of flashy coaches who've had flashy seasons. Willie Taggart did it. Charlie Strong did it. But something feels different this time. It feels like it's rooted in just a little bit more substance, because it's gone on year after year after year instead of just one huge pop-up year. Now, for a long time, Jim Levy, former defensive coordinator at Colorado, at Oregon, he ran this program as an above-average, dangerous team they were consistently good. But since 2010, this program has been known for big ups and recently even bigger downs. Because South Florida won 4 games in the last 3 seasons before Alex Golesh took over. But since 2023, Golesh has gone 16-12 as his record and is chasing USF's 3rd consecutive winning season. The man is building something significant. So where did Alex Golesh come from, might you ask? Because this is the man that you need to know. Well, he was a tight ends coach under Matt Campbell over there at Iowa State. So you know that he is willing to build. And Matt Campbell is a guy over at Iowa State who has been offered many head coaching jobs. It's like, no, I'm good here in Ames. So maybe Alex Golesh is cut out of that same cloth. And he helped run the offense at UCF and Tennessee under Josh Heupel, which put him on USF's radar. Now, if you watch this program post-game comments after beating Florida, you know exactly what this man was about, because it wasn't about him. It wasn't about the quarterback. It was about this team and honoring everybody and the sacrifices that everybody make. His message was, don't drill to hit oil. Drill for the sake of drilling and trust that there is oil down there somewhere. And I love that. I was like, I'm feeling that all over. And the Bulls have been finding that oil in 2025. Now, on the other side of the coaching battle, you got Mario Cristobal, because he is executing on a theory and a formula for playing for championship football that it is simple. And it is the Jimmies and the Joes. And he's got all the Jimmies possible right now. The roster is stacked and it is loaded. And if you look at the common thread between every single championship team that has ever hoisted the trophy, they do all share one very common trait, is that they have a lot of Sunday level NFL players who also didn't squander the opportunity by making bad decisions off the field. Now, in fact, Cristobal, he went so far as to say at the ACC media kickoff that the reason Miami wasn't good in the first year that he was there was that they didn't have good players. And then every year that they've improved, every year since, that it's been a matter of talent, and not just talent on the field. He's talking about guys that can both finish blocking assignments and also are willing to finish their algebra assignments, get stuff in on time, and do the right things. Now, we're being real. The criticism of Mario Cristobal in past years, it has been that the role of a head coach still matters a great deal, especially in issues of clock management. And there were times against Notre Dame where it looked like it was going to rear its head and cost the Hurricanes, but they got the win and he trusted his defense and it worked out. And they are officially in a position to do something very special this year. So this looks like, for all the criticism Mario Cristobal has received, look at what he's built. He has built a dynamic roster. He has built a good coaching staff, and he has built a team that plays hard and they are physical. Now let's look at the quarterback versus quarterback. We got Mr. Byron Brown, who is cut from the Diego Pavia, Tim Tebow cloth. Like, he's a dual threat, heartbeat guy's not perfect throwing it, but he is a winner. And then on Miami side, you have Carson Beck. Now, he has been efficient and he has been a very calm veteran to this team. Now, let's go back to USF's quarterback for a second, Mr. Byron Brown, because he was a high school star in North Carolina before turning 18 during his freshman season with USF. And then Alex Golesh named him the starter in his sophomore year, and he produced 4,000 yards of offense and 37 touchdowns. Now, when we watched him play, you were like, ooh, there's something there. But then in 2024, his season got cut short to injury, and it had to feel good for the fourth year, 21-year-old to be back out with his teammates this year and taking down the #1 quarterback in the 2024 recruiting class in Mr. DJ Lagway. The truth is, he's not the world's best passer, but he also rarely turns the ball over. He hasn't thrown an interception in his last 240 pass attempts. Brown can actually run the ball a little bit as well, and he did it in their win against Florida and made plays, extending plays. And if you haven't noticed, that's something that you need to pay attention to on tape. And it is going to be interesting to see if Brown becomes the type of quarterback commodity like Darian Mensah that can make more money in the final year of college football somewhere else than he could if he were willing to go pro. But for now, the job is not finished at USF. Be where your feet are. Now, on the other side of things, if you ever wanted a reminder that these athletes that we talk about in college football as if they're 38-year-old 10-time Pro Bowlers are actually kids, look no further than Carson Beck's emotional post-game interview after beating Notre Dame, a game that Miami doesn't win without him, Mr. Carson Beck. He looked relieved, to be honest. Like, all the noise about Georgia, his personal relationships, his NIL money, whether his arm is healthy or not, it all quieted down because between the lines, under the lights, he was safe. Because this dude doesn't just love football, he needs it. And he knows where his bread is buttered. Because through 2 games, it is clear who his favorite target is, Mr. CJ Daniels. And no matter where he's at on the field, he will be found. And now this should be a battle between 2 contrasting styles of quarterbacks, but equally compelling figures. Because a calculated athlete trying to prove the world that he's always been slept on versus the poster child for high-profile pocket passers who is hoping to show the decision makers at the NFL level that he is worth the hype. Let's break down these offenses, though, because you got South Florida's offense versus Miami's defense. Alex Golesh, USF's coach, he is going to stress the defense. 4 wide, 5 wide, 2 players all the way out on the boundary. As long as the offensive line takes care of their assignment, Byron Brown or any other the plethora of USF tailbacks are just going to make one linebacker miss to make up a decent chunk. Now, whether it will be Norton or whether it will be Alvin Isaac, That will be the case, but those running backs are going to have to make plays too. But Brown can make some of those throws too. It ain't just screens and short stuff. He can make some throws as well. So you have to respect the pass if you are Miami. And Tennessee transfer Chaz Nimrod is reliable, and he knows this offense well. And there are no Florida colleges without elite athletes. I know everybody's stuck on the Miami, Florida State, Florida thing. USF has dudes. They are no exception. They have guys that can run and make plays. Now, Miami's defense, they match up well because they have athleticism on the defensive line to get off some of these blocks and catch Byron Brown when he scrambles. Now, Akeem Mesidor and Ruben Bain Jr., now they should have a big impact in this game because USF spread might actually keep the Miami linebackers on the sideline in favor of extra defensive backs. And the best thing for Miami to do is to make sure that the defensive backs that are out there are also very sound tacklers. And that's what got Florida in trouble. 2 to 3 less missed tackles and penalties, of course. And then Florida wins that game. Now, Wisconsin transfer Xavier Lucas is in line for a huge game for Miami here. Now let's look at Miami's offense versus South Florida's defense. If Miami learned anything from watching the Florida tape, the Florida Gators lost that tape, that if this game is close, stay the course with the run game, because nobody on UF's too deep in the front line is 300 pounds or more. And a couple of their edge rushers are playing around at 240 pounds. Now you have one of the country's best run blocking offensive lines in Miami versus a smaller D line. Pound the rock. Use it, because it's about the mindset, and Mario Cristobal is mindset oriented. And then you think about one of the best offensive linemen in the country, Mauga. Now, he told my producer at ACC Media Day kickoff about that mindset.
Are the number one offense in high school at IMG. You guys, average 50?
Yeah.
Part of the number one offense in college football last year, averaged 44. What's the secret? Like, what goes into, is it just talent or scheme? Like, what's the thing?
It's more of the mindset more than anything. The mindset of, it all starts from us on front. Like the 5 on front, we gotta start the game. We're the tone setters, and we're the guys that set the standards for the whole team. And we control the game. If it all starts from the front, and if we're not doing good, the whole team is not going to do good. That has been the same mentality throughout high school and college.
Now for UCF, they are going to have to rely on that same bend but don't break mentality that they had against Florida in the Swamp, because you got James Chenault Jr., who already had a monster game last week, and now his life gets even harder by having to cover CJ Daniels because the kid is a freak. You see the catches the kid's making. Now, this is a tall task, but if he can pull it off, just slow him down, make a couple plays, not get pass interference, he is going to make himself a lot of money. But now, let's talk about the X factors in this game. Now, in Mario Cristobal's mind, the X factor has got to be simple. If superior players execute, they win. Now, the X factor for Miami is discipline. Miami probably watched that Florida tape back, and they saw exactly what I saw. A superior team gave the game away with penalties, missed tackles, and not executing, and then not running the football when it matters the most. For USF, this kid Byron Brown, he's special. But the question is, how special? Are we talking about take over Florida special by beating Florida and Miami special? Are we talking about college football playoff special? Because after the Florida win, Alex Golesh immediately realized that USF's next task is handling success, because people think that failure is the hardest thing to handle. No, success is the hardest. How do you keep working once you have reached a lot of your goals? And I'm excited to see if the Bulls can do just that and keep this game competitive and give Nico Gramatica another chance to be a hero at the end of this game. Now, my prediction for this game. Miami is favored by 16.5 points. Miami wins this football game, but USF sneaks inside of that plus 16.5. Now, I got a slight lean on the under if the thunderstorms hang around at 54.5, but there it is. I'm George Wrighster. Make sure that you like, subscribe, get notifications, tell a friend about the show, come back to the Unafraid show, and be one of us. Peace out.